Hello, this is Jake Light, Gaming Light at your service. The video you're about to see is an edited version of my streaming of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve on Twitch. If you like what you see, consider leaving a like or comment on this video, or subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to be the first to watch the latest content. Otherwise, if you want to catch me live and interact with me on Twitch, the link is in the description below. As always, take care, stay hopeful, but be critical. Enjoy the show. Hello, we're back. Alright, we're back, and we'll be playing Great Ace Attorney now. So, welcome. So, this is what, like, the fifth session of the Great Ace Attorney. And, we'll be continuing the third case of the second game. It's gonna be fun. Because we are going to a new place, examine a new place, which we haven't really done for quite some time. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more different voices probably, because there's going to be new witnesses as well. Alright, so we are right now at some great exhibition where there's a lot of different things. Science experiments, arts, and all things new, I guess. Ugh. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in the dense crowds for 2 hours now. I felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I'm almost been trodden on 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Let go of my hand. We finally made through the throngs though, by the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Ooh. What's that noise? What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. Sounds like an argument. Oh, she's back. Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it your shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices. You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady. But not in itself will teach you some manners.
Just try it. I dare ya. If you want that big old chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo! Rixie! What are you doing up there?
Oh, they came down. Ah! Oh, it's you. Here, your ladyship. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and I'll have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty. It appears he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Watch it, Sunshine. Sorry. Sunshine. What gives you then? Don't you tell me you're on this case? Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Dear me. That's the situation, isn't it? Is it really that troubling?
A measly 5 bob. Is that all you got? Yeah, lie, ain't ya? I could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Naroodo.
What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is.
You can have it. You can have... You can... You can...
Yeah, can have. Right.
You can have it back. I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket, or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. The case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, eh, Odo? Diver, pickpocket, what's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You're just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? Assumed you've been up to your usual tricks here in the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. Over years a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. The Inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls it that. What it's worth anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions. So it's questioning time. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina in connection with the case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was diving working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Jeannie. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
You got it. Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's old man to think about.
Iris is a father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I say I get all the police forces around the world to put all the stops looking for him.
Just a small promise then, nothing serious.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet. So anyway, it's all come I go at test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Gregson and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
Well, that's pretty nice of Gregson. That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So, the long and short of it is, if you've got questions about case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
What, Bruno? What?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was defended in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet she is still...
Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, whatever it's called. Cool, you don't have a worry, Otto.
If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Hey, Moon! Welcome back. I'm not doing good, but I'm how do you say managing? I'm managing. Hope you are doing good though. How are you? How long has it been we talked? Last time? 27. Several days ago actually. About a week. Ah, why that face? It's okay. It's nothing. It's been a couple of days. Been busy with school and work. I see. Oh, wait. Work? You got a job? Because call you. I feel like you're, I don't know, still student? No? Yes? No? Sorry. Man. Well, okay, where was I? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. You're in your final semester of university. Ooh. That's good, that's good. Working part-time while studying. Oh, I hope your work doesn't affect your studies. At least when it is necessary, when it's important. I mean, normally it's for me. Fun fact: I didn't work until I actually finished all my studies. Yep, I am. I'm a very noob. I was only an adult after I worked, which is like when I was 21, either 21 or 22 or something like that. Never worked before in my life. Before that, it's hard to juggle, but it's okay. I see. But yeah, may I ask what you're studying though? Tell me you're studying law. And I can't be studying law. But yeah.
Exactly. I ain't worried. I'm totally fine.
Study international relations and philosophy. Ooh. International relations. Philosophy, I kind of know. International relations. Does that mean some sort of you want some sort of a diplomatic kind of thing you're studying? Being a diplomat, maybe? Or like international relations in terms of doing businesses with multinational company?
Cool, it was out of this world, it was. The brainy bloke put a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started blowing smoke. It just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, eh? Of keeping everything running and smooth, I mean.
The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. It's going to take some getting used to. Moon says, nope, it's just the study of interactions between sovereign states. I don't think I will apply it to my future career. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of what diplomats do, right? Or like at least people who work in like embassies or something like that, right? I'm not sure. So what are you planning to do after studying, as in what career you want to be going for? A lecturer? Some sorts?
So all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can't do whatever I want to.
Probably going to social work. Social work? I don't really hear often that word. What does social work? Practice-based profession concerned with meeting the basic needs of individual families, groups. Oh, that is. Wait, what kind of job is that? So, like, man, that is very huge and wide range of field, I would say. Can be anything, right? Hospital, for example. Totally diverging from field of study. I see. Yeah, it is kind of not relevant, but that's, yeah, it's a lot of different things. Well, in any case, I think it's not an easy job either way, and I hope whatever job you get, it's gonna make you happy. All right. It's gonna make you happy. Anyhow,
so all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can't do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in wild flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above.
Kind of like a caseworker, working with families to meet their basic needs, financial, healthcare, education, and helping them get access to those resources, or help them through rehabilitation. Yeah, it can be all sorts of things, right? But you're doing a paid job, right? Rather than like volunteer work kind of thing. But yeah, it's a very commendable thing you're doing. Hope you are able to help a lot of people once you graduated.
No, you're so lucky, Genie. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. You're too young.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming this experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success in a way.
It was? How can it have been? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
It's like I say, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and that whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there.
What? In the tower?
You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold. Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim got to start with. Really did get beamed through the air or whatever landed on the way over there. So you see, it did kind of work, did it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but everything's possible, right? With science.
Science.
Oh, I tell you what, you can have these. It's a play on the experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob of you before the fair's fair.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Okay, got evidence. You shall have a good stream. No problem. Hey, J Warrior. Nice for you to drop by, and nice for you to be looking here. Right. Let me recall your from Aki's stream. I probably should like put you as someone from how do I nickname Aki's minion. Oh, what? BK. That's sudden. Also, ooh. Okay. Okay. Sub count 20. So we reached 20 subs. So something I think not a lot of people know. But again, thank you, Mickey, for that. Is that at sub 20, whenever we reach sub count subscriptions to 20, I'll do another giveaway. So right now we'll be doing one more giveaway after after Halloween. Oh man, I wasn't expecting this. Okay. GG, why does it say resubscribe? Does it? It says subscribed for me here though. Yeah, sure, yeah. I'll probably do it in November then. Not a concurrent one. I don't think I should do a concurrent one. But this one would be for subscribers only. So there's that. Sub giveaways are only for subscribers. So the ones that are subscribed are only 20, as you can see. So 20 of you, one of you is gonna get it. Whether or not you are participating in it or not. But one of you is gonna get it. Oh, thank you for the hat pad. But yeah, let me name J Warrior as like Aki Warrior. Aki's Warrior. Right. Oh, why did that double? The sound doubled, is it? Anyways, let's ignore it. Okay. How have you been, Mickey? How's the setup? How's the new setup? How are you feeling? What I mean setup as in the new stream you've set up. I'm also gonna give you a shout out as well. Well, not like I have a timer for you. Special timer for you. Shout out, yeah, shout out Mickey Jira. Alright. Could I guess have lunch yet? Probably won't have lunch. I had a big breakfast. Hopefully I can stream until I reach my time limit. Yeah. But what about you? Have you had your lunch? Anyways, let me see the evidence we have. So this thing is supposed to teleport a person towards here. Okay. So far maybe they are supposed to be here or something. Who knows? Can't really say much about this picture. Just in. Good. It's pretty late already though, so it's good that you already have your lunch. 1:30 p.m. Right, let's continue. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway, investigating's off the what cards for all of us.
Yes, naughty old Gregson ran over after that without explaining himself. Oh right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither.
Why?
What did the boss call him again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from the lot, no one's allowed to lay anything on scene. Bit funny, ain't it?
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. Neither have I, Renosuke, neither have I.
I thought I could have a gander on the quiet, though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't ya? It's not bleeding fair.
I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You'll say something to him, Otto. Go on, see if you can get to him.
He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Uno? Grexis will listen to us. Grexy will listen to us.
I guess we're going to go up then. Wait, we can't... we examine? Ooh, we examine. What's this?
Ah, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of machine that exploded?
Maybe it could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Yes, steals a possible evidence or some other people's properties. Let's look at that and how do I examine this? Is it examinable? Actually? Oops. Ah, there's some sort of lever here. Ooh, a crossbow. What the? What is this? It looks like a crossbow between a cross between a bow and a gun. A crossbow gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Okay. This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. I was right. It's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with a bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training. Alright. So it flipped open. I doubt there's anything we can look at. Oh, how about this? It looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Can I pull it? No? Okay then. That's pretty much everything I can examine about this bow. There's no logo, there's no insignia, nothing of any of these sorts. Alright then, let's leave it. What about here on the ground?
Oh look! What's this? A red piece of cloth.
It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion?
Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mignon.
Alright. Some sort of clothing that blew off. Totally doesn't look like my clothes, right? Doesn't look like my jacket. I didn't die, right? Did I die in this game? Okay. What's over here? It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. By Mr. Sean's methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Okay. Could be a piece of clothing. Could be something special. Some rope. For some reason the ground is damaged in this spot. Look! Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too.
Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Bruno.
Alright, so let's march. I don't think I have to talk to the guards. I can look up though. Okay, waving flags, broken window. Can examine this, but I don't think it's relevant. Let's examine this part. Ooh.
That's where the cove ended up after his instant kinesis or whatever they call it. That, of course.
And yet they're calling the experiment a success.
What's the wooden scaffold there for? The coppers, our lads set it up after the incident. To get the body down, I think. Don't know really.
Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then?
Nah, look out duties were my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff.
Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have breached that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? I don't think so. There's probably some sort of trick to it. We're gonna find out. This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to say.
I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Oh yes, sorry, it's about 9 meters.
Wait, do the British use feet?
But soon, you have been in London a year, Bruno. It's time you get used to our measurements.
I guess maybe back in the day, they used empirical, what's it called? Empirical measurements? Empirical measurements. Empirical, wait. Imperial metric? Oh, it's called imperial metric. Alright. Yes, well, this thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Ah, probably part of a trick. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go out there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Even though we're told not to investigate. Okay. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up.
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley's always doing experiments at Anina Bay. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time, he made something exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Even though we are not supposed to investigate. Ah, look! Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be in deep thought about something, while eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Yes, probably right. Let's look at things, shall we? Look at this mic stand. Is it significant? It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed, not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I...
Iris, you're a genius child, though. That's a difference. A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you were to put...
Stop! 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 Don't touch that!
It was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Grexy.
Please, your ladyship, I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry, you can have some of my latest special plan to make up for it.
What wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times. This is. What are you gonna tell me? We're representing Professor Hairbrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. We should be allowed to examine the scene. Ha! Listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted special dispensation for scientific equipment act to blame. Driving me potty. Oh yes, the special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too. Hey Rishi! Hello, hello. Welcome, let me give you a shout out. How are you? You doing anything sus right now? Shout out to you. And then wait, I almost typed raid. What? I'm on sus. Right. Totally not sus at all. Wink wink. Anyhow, yes, I'm playing Crazy, doing lots of weird noises, weird voices. But yeah, hope it's gonna be great. Also, oh yeah, I forgot. Anyone who wants to get free packs for the stream loots, let me know, okay? There's also a coupon that I am putting up on chat. Totally forgot to keep mentioning that. But yeah, that's the coupon code, and this is my stream loots. Free cards are getting, you're gonna get free cards over that. So get it if you are interested in like wanting me to do certain things. But anyways, if you are registered, I can also send you a pack as well. As in, if you have an account over there, I can type in your name and then give you a pack as well. Anyhow, let's do that. Let's. Also, I'm pretty sure not everyone has enough points, but in my Twitch channel redeems, you can also get a pack out of there. Of course, it costs 2,000 evidence if you want a pack from using that to redeem a pack. So I'm trying to say, oh bloody hell. Anyhow, let's continue.
More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government think is playing at us sometimes. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we?
Eh?
Surely that's alright, isn't it, Grexy? Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you? Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Right, let's examine all the stuff. Touchy, everything. Okay, just gonna like examine here and there, everywhere. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor, Harebrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think.
Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get stronger myself, you hear?
I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
He asked, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we? Because of the annoying rules, you mean? Exactly, the annoying obstructive flaming rules.
Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle in this is in the shape of a capital A.
It is. Oh yes, you're right.
What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything I said. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get stronger myself, I said.
Yes, I understand, sorry. I will touch it a teeny weeny bit though.
But Grexy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really very, very curious.
Okay.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever. Your ladyship fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But Runo found it first. I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly.
It disappeared. It's gone off with it.
That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Poor Grexy. Well, I don't really pity him that much, considering he almost killed someone. Anyhow, oh, that's a Ferris wheel. And there's this thing. What's it called? There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Runo? I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particularly steamy samurai with a present of one of early stories that read especially. Present.
Oh.
And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Batitsu master ninjas.
You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well, that's dull.
Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a John Margate top knot I could introduce you to.
A John Margate? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. He recovered, but it got trimmed again. Okay, we have nothing over here. What about here? Ferris wheel. What is that gigantic thing over there? Looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, and it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning, but it looks completely still.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Bruno. Maybe you should call it roller coaster?
Alright, let's look up. Oops. Oops. Oh, he's still here. And saying the same thing. Okay then. Alright. Just look at the cannon. The amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the crystal tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're sort of shot out of that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Bruno. It was a setup to beam people to the crystal tower, where they'd be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place. Of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Okay. What else can I examine? Nothing? Okay, the entire thing is just this. What about the hot air balloons? So those are people carrying balloons, dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful floating Tamari handballs.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Bruno. Please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I'd like to try it. But without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared. I actually haven't rode any hot air balloon myself before.
Oh well, in that case, I would tell you what Hurley say. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. Right, so... is that all? I can't examine the boxes, I can't examine the mic, I can't examine all this debris. The entire machine can't be examined, and I have no way to turn around anything like that. Alright, guess we have to converse with the with him. Oh man, you had so many things to talk about. You're using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the crystal tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment.
You're more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see.
Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way.
So, the powers that are being placed, they are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They are making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were, right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new High Volatile Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it.
Is it like a... what does it stand for? SDFSEA? SD... no, it doesn't mean anything to me. Ah, I see now.
The only people with permission to investigate here are some brand new department at the yard. Forensic investigation team it's called. We've been relegated to keep guard.
The forensics investigation team?
Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing with it.
Poor Grexy is very head up, isn't he? Special dispensation. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? Even though I'm a lawyer and I probably should know about this thing.
Are you having me at it, sunshine? It's a special dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act. SDSEA. DC.
Yes, I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eye as I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Plus especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, it's a guarantee of rights to maintain inventions confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's also fun.
It might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang signs, that's what I say.
Oh, I don't think so. It sounds like my dream job.
You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shamus bogus contraptions.
But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas, if any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant.
The scientists get funding.
Exactly, and that's where they're all after. All this shamus coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang signs. Hang it.
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Man, there are so many things to say, but my throat is killing me. Let me get a drink. Ugh, shit. Gregson's voice is killing my throat. Apparently Professor Harebrain lives and works in Germany now conducting his research.
That's right.
Came back to Britain especially for a great exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants are whom. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zix. Hey, what's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zix manages prosecution, then has to accuse the professor's fate is sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another. You know, it's getting kinda not true since I came by, you know. That myth or that curse or anything isn't true anymore. Except for that one time, of course. But yeah, every other time has been cool. Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what's going on in that head of his. Talking of Van Zix, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Ripper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up, I wonder? The mystery of the Reaper. The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Barak Van Zix is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zix initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zix is no way related to those deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind, I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. If that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. If a mystery is, it's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. And you know, maybe not just a mystery, also a serial killer? Don't have to word it so romanticized, you know? Professor Harebrain mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zix was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. You what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Alright, we're done talking, I guess. Right, are you done here, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, isn't it about time you were leaving? It is about time you were leaving. That lot are here now. That lot? The forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the evo in a minute too.
Oh dear, poor Grexy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up.
Look. Ah, that hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my own eyes. It looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigations here, at least.
I've been thinking. Early might know something, might he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zix, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tuspells? Oh, I think this is like the wax museum thing, right? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today. Iris, we have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Bruno.
Madame Tuspells. What was the actual... Madame something? Madame... Tussauds. It's a wax museum. Yes, it's all over everywhere. Except for Malaysia. I think Malaysia doesn't have the wax museum. Madame Tuspells. I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here. But then... stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Ah, well, I have a feeling I know why we are going there now. Let's go! New place, new location. Madame Tuspells Museum of Waxworks. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Okay. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. Well, why are the people so still? Guillotines. Ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
Traumatized. Wax models? Ugh! I read about dead bodies and wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. That's not how it works. That's called adiposia? What's that? Adiposia?
Adiposia.
Adiposia. The grayish waxy substance formed by decomposition of soft tissue in dead body subjected to moisture. I guess.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adiposia doesn't form readily, you know.
It's... What now?
Oh, what now?
I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. This is quite appropriate for us in October. Something scary or horror-ish is happening in an Ace Attorney game. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits seen here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. You really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh.
There's no way anybody could make models of people. They are this realistic. And they're also gruesome scenes. Hey, Sherlock Holmes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh no, I must be seeing things. Okay, there's even more how do you say suspicious. Very, very sus. Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxworks models has fallen over?
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Bruno, stop scaring me.
Is it a wax arm or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that fingers of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection! Okay, we're not gonna poke, we're gonna examine further. That big heavy curtain is a very prominent position, isn't it? I've a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, it's the famous special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money? To be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
Okay, just a suggestion. So I'm pretty sure these two are real people. Oops. Oh no! No. I accidentally click on it. Okay. Okay. Can I examine these people? So that police looks familiar. These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. When it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about, like the night of the museum.
Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Okay, I guess we can't examine them. Is this some infamous murderer?
Yes, called the Jane the Reaper. All her victims were young women.
I knew it. You can't tell the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer.
Well, yes.
Ugh.
What's the matter, Bruno?
I've worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bath out with blood so she can have a soak in a victim's gore.
Not according to information about the exhibit on the leaderboard here. It doesn't mention anything about a bathtub.
Really?
Sorry, I don't think it's significant.
Okay. I still think it has to be there for some reason. Well, I think this is a reference to a different kind of mass murderer or serial killer, where there was I think it was a European noble or something, where this girl, this ladyship, whoever, believed that bathing in virgin blood would make her immortal and forever young. So she constantly hired maids or something like that, or constantly hired maids and have them killed and then drip their blood in, have bathed in their blood or something like that. And yeah, there was a lot of people died because of that. Very gruesome. Fun fact. Well, not really so fun. Anyhow, let's move on. Let's talk to our wax model Sherlock Holmes. It's the great detective Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Holmes has his own wax statue in here? Really?
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know. But look, Bruno can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle.
can't go around kicking exhibits, Iris. You can't go around kicking exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
Huh? Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are bits of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing. My dear fellow, I take exception to you recoiling in such a manner, as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Yes, indeed. Mr. Sholmes, I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that cake. Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me. You kicked me by the balls.
But Bruno, he has something he needs to ask you.
Ah, a question?
And I thought you'd probably getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 more minutes being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you?
He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zix and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Talk to him, I guess. What is this place? What is this place? Madame Tuspels came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too. These displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tuspels family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Sorry. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptors would make these models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the executions.
That really turns my stomach. That's just one of several legends about the Tuspels family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum, by quite some margin, is this House of Horrors. A house horrors? Of course. Visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the great exhibition. But people usually flock here to see exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So, the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being waxwork, is he? What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'm happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money. He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have ravenous iris to consider.
Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry.
If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Miss Naruhodo. What's he threatening me to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Miss Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. Back to being waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there soundly look like a curse? Right, finally going to ask you something. Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zix. Ah, our friend, Mr. Reaper. How do you find him? Well, I trust. No. Well. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I've learned. About Lord Van Zix, about Professor Harebrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. What a strange coincidence indeed. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zix such a different person.
I was sure that you know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on in here, this exhibit hall before. Something was afoot, that you believe it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems... What is it? Who is this? New person! How do I do her voice? Oh, hello. Where did she appear from? What's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? Ooh, I kind of like this.
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
Sorry, have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again.
My apologies. I am Esmeralda to Spouse. This is my museum of waxwork.
What? You?
You're the Madame to Spouse?
Bien. Oh shit, she's French. We can do a French accent. Sort of. Alright.
Bien sûr. They're only 26 years young. My dad.
Well, you're quite young. Is that significant somehow?
I'm a madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
Okay, mystery. It's sort of, what is it? But wait, je ne sais quoi is I don't know what? Wait, is it right? Je ne sais quoi. Oh man, what a coincidence. We're going to be doing this. A quality that cannot be described or named easily. Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather, one waxwork in particular.
That'd be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle.
Ooh.
Next time you move from your designated exhibits, there will be toil and trouble.
Trouble.
She sounds deadly and serious.
That's a problem. Am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zix now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before about something being afoot right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Right, let's talk to Madame... to spell. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame to spells?
I did. I'm the third generation waxwork artisan. Artisans, you know.
Gosh!
It was my grandma. it was my grandma who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution, as she did. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to astonishing lifelikeness.
All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley.
What you see is exhibited here represent the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions, that is the secret of the extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Ugh, why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope.
Was Iris who dragged me straight in here? Come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
Great detective waxwork. What's the situation with, that?
Ah, my temporary waxwork model? He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal?
My dear madam, what this pair exhibits needs is the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect.
Ah.
Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme, so I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. For a mere £500, I'll dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment.
Oh, words that to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely, he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent. Very insistent.
I have 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning.
Or words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Alright, I get to practice French, quote-unquote French accent with this one. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Bien sûr.
I'm guessing bien sûr is of course? Is it of course? Of course.
Bien sûr, bien sûr.
I'm curious. Is there anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Well, it was... disappeared. Your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little... Oh, he's disappeared. Wait, who is this? Wax of model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. Ah! There you are! There you are!
Leaving the exhibit again, then. You will be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
Okay. My dear Madam to Spells, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. Oh, now I get it, to Spells. Because witch, magician, wizard, or whatever you want to call it. Spells! Also, does she have a record of her? Right here. Esmeralda to Spells. Yeah. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police.
Why ever not?
Why ever not? She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer. No, I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? You. Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain? That is the Suspend's special exhibit. There is an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume? Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Ah, absolutely no. Absolutely no. There is nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madam. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? Ah! I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only as subcon. Okay, subcon, I guess in second. Subcon. 139. Number 139. I must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Suspend's special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What a strike one, however, is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Who is that? Well then perhaps, Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. Oh, we're going to do that again. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in a special exhibit. Why would you say that? And the second is that aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. Ah, sacrebleu. She looks as pale as candle wax. I don't understand. Je ne sais pas. Oh, wait, no, I don't understand. It's not je ne sais pas. I don't understand in French. Je ne comprends. Je ne comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas.
Je ne comprends pas.
Je ne comprends pas. So, Madame Tuspels, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Hello, everyone. Bonjour, bonjour. Isn't it quite late? Although I do not appreciate you being here, but it's quite late, right, Arion? Shouldn't you be sleeping now? Alright, we're gonna do the great deduction. Waxworks Fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so happily from your bag. Sleepy's yep, I heard something noises coming. Selamat malam, Jake. Alright, no problem. Also, Arion, if you want some free cards, I'm giving it out right now. Let me put it out again for you to look at. If you want free packs, here it is. If you want, like, get some redeems, yeah, like channel redeem stuff from a website called Streamloots. I'm trying to get people to use, and by doing that, I'm doing a sort of a quote-unquote giveaway for people who come by, and yeah. So right now, there's a lot of varieties, but you can get common, rare cards, common, rare, and epic cards. Take a look. All right, take a look. I think it's over. Should be. How do you say? Yeah, it's published, and if you like, use the coupon code and redeem a pack. Anyhow, let's do this. In my estimation, some £200. This is all my own money. This is all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast. It would seem, madam, to spells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by the public notice. Do you have to pay for a subscription? No, you don't. How do you say? Wait. How do you redeem the coupon? You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe. You just have to. How do you say? Type the code that I just put over there, and you should get a pack. Damn, I've never done this before. Public page, collection, give packs to commit. No. No, I don't think this is it. Oh man. Is there collection, get my packs? I can't see my own packs. Let me see someone else's page to see how that works. Right? Give me a sec. Arion, give me a sec. Give me a sec. How to use coupons? How to use coupons? Also, apologies to everyone else. Let's see how we can give. Every time a viewer clicks on it, you can give back. You can give packs through a link that is generated on the platform when you create this type of coupon. Every time a viewer clicks on it, you'll get a free chance until the coupon. Okay, is that so? I need to. Oh, there's a link to it. Sorry about that. This is my first time. Link. Ah, okay. So I'm supposed to do that. Alright, Arion, you're supposed to do that. I don't have to do anything. Just click on the link and you get your pack, I think. Alright, I'm dumb. So no one else has. That's why no one else has been able to redeem it. But yeah, click on the link. You should get your free pack. Alright. Okay. Any case, let's do this. Let's continue. Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you saw the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of £200. No! Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Ah! Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte or fort. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted the gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep. Alright, have a good night's sleep, Arion. Night. He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extraordinary or extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result? The scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Sold for cash. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider the problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only to observe his handkerchief. Such is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But next, we turn our attention to the old man, set before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely as he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact as if he were a waxwork. I'm gonna guess that he is a waxwork, maybe? But your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madame. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious price tag. Trumpets, a tragically low price, you might say, though perhaps going rate are aging waxworks riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard, isn't that so? Isn't that so, madam? I do not... Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in an special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Wrong. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Quite horrifying indeed, but totally not true. I see, I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Hurley. You have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Holmes. Ah, the notorious Naruto 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman, Otter Mall. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the aether.
And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Ottomo.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? Indeed. It is a particularly green face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. So, it is quite a lot then. Is there anything else you would choose to add before I melt you down? That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
Ugh, the smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Holmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright, to make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions.
Of course, it's alright. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tuspels vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tuspels, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Okay. I think that was just repeating. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Now, let me see what is wrong. While I skip and take a sip of my water. There is money. Public notice? Nah. Should definitely look into this direction, it's true.
But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for £300.
Oh?
She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and over of the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
For that much money, I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the £200 could have some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance and again and see if there's anything else that could explain it.
Furtive glance. Ah.
What's that note being pinned on the wall there?
Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. Have the money ready by noon on 23rd October.
What?
It's just like some sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. A ransom note. Take that. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness adopting a waxwork. £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it. The ordeal in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have. In summary then, £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let's explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Alright, let's skip. So, if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
We could just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris.
Yes, you're right. Hell is trying so hard, we mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. Much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tuspels trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Let's have a look. Ooh, this is just
Madame Tuspels' right hand, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well. Look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
Are you touching it? Iris, are you touching it? You mean it's made of wax? Take that! What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
How could you?
The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, it's a left hand.
Ah!
And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madame. It is a hand of a waxwork model.
Gah!
Okay.
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result, the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, with our conclusion. You know, that's kind of like a causing either battery or causing grievous bodily harm. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Kidnap! Sold. Now we are going to do this. Skip. Let's go to the part where I have to look at the thing. You cannot possibly. Here, you cannot possibly. Sacre bleu, je ne sais pas, c'est votre prénom. Neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tussauds' reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Oh, okay. Take that! Show the stuff. It's a wax. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only to observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless humans walk this earth. All of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes.
He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man off the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, alright. Skip, because he's not a Max model, he is a real person. Observe! No. But the scarf is pretty telltale. A killer policeman called Automol, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know who he looks like. It's a very low price though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Gary Depp's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is a special killer taken from special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200. Is this crusty old killer policeman Automol? Really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
This? Take that! Yeah, it's very obvious. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, This splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives, then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Two Spells?
Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He's clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does it not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrived at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of his horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. Didn't solve anything though. Deduction complete. Elementary. Nice.
All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway,
what a nice pain.
your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madam. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. It was indeed genuinely abducted.
Yes, tragically, it was.
Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail as possible, if you please. S'il vous plaît.
Very well. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Alright, we have a lot to talk about apparently. Tell us more about stone waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, and that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place.
The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So these waxworks that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. the killer.
Do I pronounce words exactly how French pronounce their words?
The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The professor.
Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry?
The professor case happened around that time I was born, didn't it?
Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders had rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Yes, at exactly the time that Barak von Zix graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying.
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
As you've surmised, it was the professor case. Who was this professor then?
It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Von Zix? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murdered by the professor were somewhat of highest members of the British aristocracy, members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of the oh wait, of course. But Professor Habrin said, Lord Von Zix is from a family with noble blood.
Oh gosh!
It was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Von Zix. No, I don't believe it. Von Zix? I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. Only 10 years, eh? I had no idea Lord Von Zix had such a tragic past. The portrait was not Barak. It was a portrait of Clint, his brother. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit.
I am afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well.
Oh yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involve you coming to visit me here. Oh wait. Oh, it's our German friend.
It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak.
It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places.
I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen.
Tomorrow the court will decide.
Yes, I have a young Eastern man acting on for my defense. He seems reliable enough though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it.
I must warn you.
Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you?
Yes.
Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Bauk, are you ready?
What?
Never mind. I know that you have my best interest at heart.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else.
Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Bauk.
Until tomorrow then. I'll see you in court. Right. To be continued. Oof. Right. How long have we been streaming? I think still got an hour like that. So we continue in a bit. Right. Should I? Should I? Should I? Let me save first and let me check the time. Okay. Let's see. Okay, something's going on. I think there's a bot going on, like, because they are like there's multiple accounts going around, like retweeting my stuff, my tweets, and liking my tweets, like, and it's exact 20 tweets, 20 retweets, 20 likes. I have no idea why, but in any case, how long have I been streaming? Don't look at the I can't. Okay, 4 hours. 4 hours. Let's see. Should I continue a bit more? Nah, it's okay. Okay, edit day. Ace Attorney is a bit special, so we'll do it like it's like a TV drama, right? TV series drama. Maybe short, maybe long, maybe not long, short. Anyhow, I'll end it here, right? And continue on the day after tomorrow, right? Because it's gonna be new. Everything is gonna be in fighting case. We don't want to do it like half-assed. So yeah. Let's do this. Let's go as we always. Thank you so much for watching. Anyone that is watching, we enjoyed the stream. I'll be rating someone now, as always. Okay. Think we can do with we'll do with we'll rate Ihara. Let's go over there. Let's go over there. No problem. Let's go over there. Right. Take care. Stay hopeful. But be critical, right? Let's go. She is playing. Let me do this. Playing Escape Simulator, alright, I think. Oh no, Escape the Backroom. It's a horror game. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna hear her scream or hear lots of laughter. Either way, it's gonna be a fun time. So anyways, Take care. Stay hopeful. But be critical, alright? Be critical. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.